Hello student, in last class we have attended some question based on partial fraction with different category. Now today also two more category we are going to discuss, and then after we will start about the integration by part method that will be new for you. Now here we are going to start with question number 19 in exercise 7.5, in which numerator containing 2x whereas denominator containing x square plus 1 into x square plus 3. Now whenever we were dealing with x square term in denominator only, we have replaced x square by t, and without finding dt form we have proceed about the further solution. But here the method will be entirely changed. As your 2x is available in a numerator, so the whole combination we will change as a dt form, and then we will proceed about the partial fraction method. So that's why this question is different from the another combination. So here we will take first as a letter x square is equal to t. Make it differentiate both the side. So 2x dx you will have as a dt form. In your question 2x dx directly available as a numerator form, also it can be replaced by dt form. The entire question will be changed now in form of t. So this is dt, this is t plus 1. In place of t you can select y. So this is the combination we have generated for further solution. Now this fractional term you will use for partial fraction, so that we have to solve aside. Here we are having only the linear combination, so two constant you will introduce as a and b with respect to these two linear combination. So let it be sorted out separately. So here 1 upon t plus 1, t plus 3, this is your a upon t plus 1 plus b, t plus 3. Go for taking LCM. Your method will remain same as we have already studied in your last lectures. So this is a, t plus 3, this is b, t plus 1. Now denominator will be adjusted here. Remaining terms are now first we will take t plus 3 as a 0, 1 means t is equal to minus 3. So substitute over here, obviously this will turn to 0. So this will give you the value regarding your constant b. This is your minus 2b. So here b is coming out as a minus half. Second hand we will go for t plus 1 is equal to 0 means t is a minus 1. Substitute over here and here. This is the 1, t minus 1 plus 3 plus b into 0. This will give you the solution regarding your a constant. So this is the 1, it is 2. So a is coming out as a half. So these are the two constant value we are having. Substituting over here, your question will be turned as a, this is your plus half, t plus 1, whereas it is minus half, t plus 3. So this is the removal of the constant and turn your question in a separate form. Now you come to the question frame. In with this fraction you will write as a 1 upon 2, t plus 1 minus 1 upon 2, t plus 3, and it is available for differentiation. 1 upon 2 we can take common and then go for writing its integration. So on integrating, this will give you log of t plus 1 minus log of t plus 3. Introduce your constant. Being a log function, in between negative sign you are having, so it can be expressed as a m by n form. Secondly, your answer should be in form of t. So here in place of t we will write x square. So this is your 1 upon 2 log. Both the things we are going to implement at the same time. Substitution of t and apply the formula as a m by n with respect to the log term. So this way you can find out the solution on conversion of the question in form of entirely t form. So this is the change in the question what you have if your dx term is available as a dt form along with the question frame. Sometimes that type of combination may be asked to you as this way it may be given to you question frame. This way. So this type of question also you will handle with the same way. You will turn this question this way. Now your method will remain same. So this will give you t dt upon 2, this is t plus 1 and this is t plus 3, and further your process for partial fraction will remain same. Here the evaluation of the constant will be quite different, but somewhat linear combination you will have after writing the solution. So this way different type of combinations you can generate on basis of the question available. Now we are going to move towards the next category in which exponent form is being written. That is the last question of this exercise 21 or the last type of question regarding the partial fraction. As various form we can develop with the partial fraction form, but mainly what the form we have to discuss that I have already given to you. Now the next category is your question number 21 in which your I is available as a dx upon e power x minus 1. Now this question you can handle in two ways. First of all, multiply and divide by e power x, or e power x you can take it as a common one. So both ways this situation can be handled. So first of all we are going to multiply and divide e power x. Now here e power x we are going to suppose as a t, or as such also it was possible to generate your dt form. So here e power x we are going to suppose as a t. Go for writing it's a differentiation. So e power x dx as a dt form. Now turn your whole question. This is your dt, this is your t, and this is t minus 1. Now this can be proceed for partial fraction, or here also it can be handled directly as your linear combinations are available with the simple form. How it is to be treated further? This is your 1 available. So plus t and minus t from our side. Now these two terms we will generate here to make them separate. So how it is to be handled? 1 minus t. So here this is the t we will take. In these two terms minus we can take common. So this will give you t minus 1. So this combination you can arrange this way. Make them separate. Under this t we will put this t minus 1. Under this t minus 1 combination you will put same combination, that is t into t minus 1. Now 1 term will get cancelled. You will left with the remaining 1 form that is available for direct integration. So that is your 1 upon t minus 1 minus 1 upon t and dt. Now you can see both terms are available for direct integration. So proceed about the integration over here. That is your log t minus 1 minus log of t. This t you will replace by e power x minus 1 minus log of e power x plus c. Make them divide. So this way your answer will come out with the shortest form. This can be separated out also, and more shortest form you can write as per the combination. So this is the another category you can handle. One more thing here you can perform. As such this question means e power x you can suppose as a t. So from there dx will be separated out as a dt upon e power x means dt upon t. So the same formation you will have even after just starting with the same combination. So afterwards what will you have? dt upon t, and this is the t minus 1. So here and here we are having the same combination. For our conveniency, we have changed this question frame as per this multiplication and division for a required form. So easily we can generate your derived form. So this way exponent powers also you can handle for your partial fraction method. So it was all about the partial fraction method with the different category. If your terms are available with the different power, different combination, so accordingly constants are to be introduced, find out the constant value, then make your terms separate, and at last go for writing its integration. Now before I move to the next method, 2-3 standard form I would like to introduce you that is helpful when you will attend a question with a mixed form. So note it down these 3 forms carefully and try to understand where it will be implemented. This you can consider as a theorem form, this you can consider as even formula form. First form is integration of this form means your main function is available as a denominator form and its a derivation you have written as a numerator form. So without making any assumption as a t or y, if such type of combinations are clear to you, you can go for writing its a direct integration as a log of fx. For example, we can take one relation as for example, suppose we are having one term as this combination, suppose we are having, we know differentiation of the tangent is sec square x. So we can link these two terms as a derived form. So without making any of the t assumption or anything else, direct its integration you can write as a log of 10x. So this is the application of this type of combination. So this is a one important form. In between the solution it may be implemented, so no need to make a assumption regarding the function as a t. Direct you can implement this formula or theorem form. Second is if your fx function is available with the higher order of a power with plus or minus and its a differentiation we have written as a product form. Fx is a main function with certain power with plus or minus. Differentiation of this fx is written as a product form. So at that time integration of such combination we can write it down as f of x with power n plus 1 upon n plus 1, and this is being constant. So here also without making any of the assumption fx as a t or y, you can direct move towards the integrating form. Just for example, the same thing we will write over here as suppose we are having f power 4x and as a multiple we are having sec square x. So here you can see your main function is became tangent, which is having power 4 and derivation of this tangent is sec square x. So being a tangent as a main function containing power 4, its integration will be turned as 10x with power 4 plus 1 upon 4 plus 1. So finally this will give you 10 5x upon 5. So this way, this is the second application you can implement. Now move towards the third one, and that important one from the examination point of view, or even it will be implemented direct to your next exercise. So try to understand what I mean to say. Now here the third one is it is your Ex. This is the function available with you along with its derivation, and this is the dx. Now here two things are compulsory to implement this theorem form is first of all, this e power x means multiple of x should be 1 only, not plus, not minus, even not with the fractional form. If it is not available and it is possible to get it, convert your question in that frame. First of all, go for removal of this multiple form of x and then you can implement it. So the basic thing, multiple of x should be compulsory 1 with positive sign. Now the second thing is as an additive form, differentiation of this main function should be present over there. Then its integration direct we can write without writing any of the assumption or any of the theoretical concept is e power x fx plus c. In some of the cases, your question will be available in an indirect way to generate this form. So first of all, question we will turn in such a way that you are going to turn your question as fx plus f dash x form as a multiple of e power x. In place of x, it may be your t, y, anything, but it should not be minus x by 2, 2x, 3x like that. Compulsory the multiple of x should be 1 with positive sign. Then only this theorem can be implemented. So we just look at one example for that. This is your e power x. What we are having here, same thing we write here. Many combination we will have during the solution. So it is e power x 10x plus sec square x. So here this 10x you can obviously consider as a main function, whereas the sec square x is being a derivative of the main function. This is being a fx and this is being your f dash x. Now you can implement the theorem form, means after writing the integration, it will turn as e power x 10 of x. So this way, this theorem or this formula you can implement. So based on that, we were having question in the next exercise. So for the next exercise, the new method for integration we have to introduce, that is integration by parts. So try to understand this method well, because here integration and differentiation both we have to handle simultaneously. So here with the help of the one example, we will try to understand what is the method for integration by part. So here we are going to introduce new method, integration by part. So what the meaning of this method that we try to understand first. Let your question be available as a combination of two functions which are available with the same variable. Means here u and v are two functions in terms of x which are to be integrated. In some of the cases only one function is available, so at that time one as a multiple you will treat as another function and further you will proceed about the solution. Now here how to treat this method. Any of the function as per the availability of the function form which is going to be reduced its power or which is going to be combined to the another function, you will suppose for derivation. So one of the function you will suppose for differentiation and the remaining one you will treat for integration. So here suppose this one we are going to write for differentiation and this one we are going to select for integration. So this is the combination of a two function. Now how to implement this method? In first step, what will you write? Function which is going to be differentiate you keep as such, and its multiple you will write integration of integrating term. Differentiating term you will keep as such as a multiple, you will write integrating term and respective integration. To write the second step, minus is compulsory. Then here you will make a big integrating sign, form a bracket, then here differentiation of a derived term which is going to be derived over here, that was u, into integration what already you have written at the first step. So here integration and differentiation both are going to take place at the same time. So here your this function means u function you will decide in such a way that either after writing its a differentiation, it can be combined with this integrating form or its power going on reducing. So that way you have to decide about this u and v. In case of exponent form, in case of the trigonometrical form, none of the term is going to be reduced. So any of the term you can select for integration or any of the term you can select for differentiation. But in normal case, when you are dealing with the log term, your inverse term, your algebraic term, these are going to reduce with their power. So try to manage in such a way that your algebraic term, your inverse term or logarithmic term you can use for differentiation. So easily it can be handled for further solution. Now after writing integration of this v, make it close bracket, and with respect to this outside integrating sign, one more dx we will put. After writing this differentiation and integration, we will think about the generated combination, and further you will proceed about the same type of combination. Means further you will write the integration of the remaining term. Now one example I am going to pick up, from which you will be more clear that how this process is going to take place. Just for example, we take one question as x, e power x and dx. Now here one term is your algebraic, another one is exponent. If you write integration or differentiation of exponent form, none of the term is going to be reduced. As such, it will be turned to the one form to the another form. But if you go for writing differentiation of x, it will reduce its power or it will go for elimination. And if you take this x for integration, its power keep on increasing. So your question will be endless. So we have to think in such a way that any of the term either combined with the one term or it reduce its power or go for elimination. So here this x we will select for differentiation, as differentiation of x is 1. So this 1 will be combined with further ex, and this ex you will select for integration. So mark it down. This is for your differentiation, whereas this you will treat for integration. Now implement this method. What the method was? This x we will keep as such. Here we have to write integration of e power x. In between minus is compulsory. Form a big integrating sign. Then differentiation of this x, differentiation of this derived form, into integration of ex again. The same term you will write over here also. Make this bracket close and outside the integration with respect to this integrating sign. Now here we will write the integration, here we will write the differentiation, here we will write the integration. So don't be confused in integration and differentiation. Minus differentiation of x is 1, integration is ex, and this is your dx. Means now you are having single term in your hand which can be proceed further for integration with respect to this sign. So let it be write in a proper manner first. This is multiply by 1. Now only single term we are having for further integration. Means once more time this ex is to be write as an integrating form. So minus e power x plus constant. So this way this method you have to implement for bipart form. Now suppose here one more term is left with you. Suppose here it is x square. So after writing differentiation 2x will be generated. So further after this step the same method you will implement until you get the final answer form or a single integrating term. So this is the method you have to implement under this by-part method. So let's start with the question in the exercise which are based on this by-part method or the third theorem what I told you, that is the important one, Ex form into Fx plus f dash x. So these two things we have to discuss in the next exercise. Now here I am going to attend your question number 2 in exercise 7.6. Slowly and slowly you will have a command over this method. In the beginning, with some patience, try to attend question. So don't be confused in differentiation or integration. So here I am going to attend a second question in which this is x and this is your sine 3x. Now it is very clear that if you will go for writing integration or differentiation of your trigonometrical term, it is not going to be reduced or it is not going to be eliminated. Whereas if you are going to use this x for a differentiation, obviously it will turn to a single number. So this will proceed for differentiation, this will proceed for integration. So mark for your reference, this is for differentiation, this is for integration. Now implement the method. This is x, keep as such, sine 3x for integration minus, make a big bracket, differentiation of x, integration of sine 3x, and along with this integrating sign it is dx. Now where integration sign is being written, write the integration. Where differentiation sign is written, write differentiation. So what will you have here? Integration of sine 3x, integration I told. So here it will be minus cos of 3x upon 3. Here differentiation of x is 1. Integration is minus cos of 3x upon 3. This minus will adjust here, this minus plus. So this is minus x upon 3 cos of 3x minus plus. This is 1 upon 3 constant cos of 3x and dx. Now here you can see it is very clear that now onwards we are having only this cos term for further integration. And integration of cos what you are having? Sin x. So proceed about the integration of this remaining term, that is single one only. This will be your sine of 3x over 3 constant. These two are to be multiplied. So this is minus 6 upon 3 cos of 3x 1 upon 9 sine of 3x plus c. So this way this situation is to be handled. Now we look at one question in which your logarithm form and algebraic form both are available. Question number 5. So you will have some idea about the handling of the situation which will proceed about differentiation, which will proceed about integration. Now in fifth one, your integration is to be right for x log 2x. As log term is available, so compulsory you will go for derivation of this term. So this will proceed about the differentiation. Obviously the remaining will proceed about integration. So proceed about the application of the method. Integration of x minus is compulsory. Differentiation of log of 2x into integration of x with respect to this integrating term, this is your dx. Integration of x is x square by 2. This is your log of 2x minus differentiation of log x means 1 upon 2x into 2 with respect to this one into x square upon 2. Integration of x. These two will cut This x will also cut. So this is the x square by 2 log of 2x minus what is left here? X by 2 only. So this way I think it will be clear that how the term is going to reduce, even though this x we are going to treat as an integrating term. Now the single term is available for further integration. So x square by 2 log of 2x minus x square upon 2 into 2 plus c, means finally we are having x square by 2 log of 2x minus x square by 4 plus c. So this way, this all type of situations you have to handle. So till the next lecture, you try to attend some question from this exercise based on this partial fraction method. Thank you.